discover Latvia, where medieval castles pierce misty skies, pristine nature meets Baroque grandeur, and ancient traditions thrive in modern cities. From Riga's Art Nouveau treasures to Europe's widest waterfall, from mysterious bog landscapes to golden Baltic beaches, this journey reveals Latvia's most extraordinary places, where every cobblestone, forest path, and castle tower tells a story waiting to be discovered. Welcome to Latvia's hidden wonders. Now, before we start, we will go into some unique and fun facts about this beautiful country. Latvia has Europe's first Christmas tree tradition. The Brotherhood of Blackheads in Riga decorated the first documented Christmas tree in 1510, marking the origin of this global tradition. In Latvia's National Library, beeswax is used to naturally preserve the oldest books, giving the entire building a subtle honey scent that visitors often notice. The Latvian language contains over 300 unique words for snow, each precisely describing different conditions, textures, and types of snowfall, a testament to their deep connection with winter. Before its destruction in 1907, Riga boasted the world's tallest wooden building. St. Paul's Church's wooden spire reached an astonishing 123 meters into the sky. During the Soviet occupation, Latvian cartographers intentionally created maps with subtle errors to confuse potential invaders, a secret resistance technique only revealed decades later. The Daugava River occasionally glows at night due to rare bioluminescent organisms, creating natural light shows that inspired ancient Baltic legends. Latvia achieved independence through song. The singing revolution saw up to 300,000 people gathering to sing forbidden folk songs, using their cultural heritage as a peaceful weapon against Soviet rule. Until the 1930s, coastal farmers practiced the unique tradition of swimming their cows in the Baltic Sea, believing the salt water improved milk production and cattle health. Riga's distinctive street layout was intentionally designed to create natural wind tunnels for cooling, leading to its nickname, City of Inspiration, where the wind is born. Latvia is home to a unique breed of cattle known as blue cows. Their distinctive bluish-grey coats appear almost azure in certain lights, making them one of the world's most unusual cattle breeds. Now, here are the most beautiful places in Latvia. Gauja National Park. Gauja National Park cradles Latvia's ancient soul, where sandstone cliffs and caves tell stories stretching back to the Baltic tribes' first settlements. Gutmanis Cave, the Baltic's largest, holds centuries of graffiti dating to the 17th century, each inscription a snapshot of visitors who sought the cave's legendary spring. Crystal-clear springs emerge from red sandstone cliffs, their waters believed to hold healing powers since ancient Liev shamans first discovered them. Medieval castles crown dramatic cliff tops, while below, the Gauja River winds through a valley carved by glaciers thousands of years ago. Hidden caves dot the sandstone cliffs, each with its own legend. From medieval lovers to Baltic freedom fighters who found refuge in their depths. Ancient forest trails follow paths used by Baltic tribes, leading to sacred groves where massive oaks have witnessed centuries of history. The park's biodiversity creates a haven for rare species, from black storks nesting in ancient pines to wolves prowling through pristine forests. Rock climbers scale weathered sandstone, while kayakers navigate river rapids below, experiencing the park's dramatic landscapes from every angle. Autumn transforms the valley into a canvas of red and gold, while spring carpets the forest floor with rare wildflowers found nowhere else in Latvia. Winter silence settles over snow-covered caves and cliffs, broken only by the Gauja River's constant song, as it winds through this ancient landscape. Basilica of Aglona. The Basilica of Aglona rises majestically from the Latgale countryside, its white Baroque towers drawing pilgrims as they have since the 17th century. Every August 15th, tens of thousands of faithful walk on their knees to venerate the miraculous icon of Our Lady of Aglona, continuing a centuries-old tradition. The basilica's ornate interior glows with golden Baroque splendor. Sacred springs near the church provide water believed to have healing properties, while pilgrims fill bottles from the ancient well in the monastery garden. The church museum houses precious religious artifacts and ex-votos, telling stories of miracles and answered prayers through centuries of faith. Two soaring towers frame the main facade, their Baroque architecture unique in Latvia's predominantly Lutheran landscape. The surrounding monastery complex includes peaceful gardens and cloisters, where ancient linden trees shade pathways walked by countless pilgrims. Evening services fill the basilica with candlelight and hymns, while incense drifts through spaces where generations have sought solace and inspiration. The sacred hill offers views across Lake Cesis, creating a serene backdrop for one of Northern Europe's most important Catholic shrines. During major festivals, the Basilica Square transforms into an open-air cathedral, where thousands gather under the stars for midnight mass. Kemeri National Park. Kemeri National Park's elevated boardwalks float above ancient moss bogs, where pools reflect the sky like mirrors, and rare orchids bloom in secret corners. The Great Kemeri Bog Walk winds through a landscape unchanged since the Ice Age, where carnivorous plants thrive, and cotton grass waves like summer snow. Sulphur springs bubble beneath wooden pavilions, their healing waters drawing wellness seekers since the 19th century to Latvia's oldest resort tradition. Dawn mists create otherworldly scenes across the bog landscape, where photographers capture the interplay of light and water in the mysterious morning hours. Ancient black alder forests shelter rare bird species, while observation towers offer views across vast wetlands where elk and deer roam freely. The park's cycling trails connect restored manor houses with natural springs, leading through meadows where European bison have been reintroduced. Sunset transforms the bog pools into liquid gold, while night brings star-filled skies reflected perfectly in the still waters between raised bog islands. Historical mud baths and spa buildings tell stories of aristocratic holidays, when European nobility sought healing in Kemeri's sulphurous waters. Bird-watching towers rise above coastal lakes, where millions of migratory birds rest during their seasonal journeys across the Baltic. Winter freezes the bog into a crystalline wonderland, where snow-covered pines and frozen pools create an Arctic-like landscape in the heart of Latvia. Turaida Castle. Turaida Castle's distinctive red brick towers pierce the sky above the Gauja Valley, standing as they have since 1214, when the Archbishop of Riga commanded their construction. The 42-meter main tower offers breathtaking views across the ancient livelands, where autumn paints the valley in golden hues and spring carpets it in wildflowers. The folk song garden winds through sculpted hills, where 26 sculptures honor Latvia's rich folk heritage and the power of song in preserving national identity. The Medieval Castle Museum brings history alive through interactive exhibits, showing how masters and servants lived within these red brick walls centuries ago. The Rose of Turaida's grave tells one of Latvia's most romantic legends, where true love and sacrifice are remembered with fresh flowers left by visitors year-round. Wooden folk buildings preserve traditional Baltic architecture, from granaries to craftsmen's workshops, creating an open-air museum of rural life. The castle's archaeological discoveries fill exhibition halls with medieval weapons, jewelry, and everyday items that paint a vivid picture of life through the centuries. Traditional festivals bring the castle grounds alive with folk musicians, craftsman demonstrations, and medieval combat reenactments. The restored wooden church, one of Latvia's oldest, stands peacefully among ancient oaks, its simple beauty contrasting with the castle's mighty walls. As evening approaches, the setting sun turns the red bricks to gold, while shadows lengthen across grounds where centuries of Baltic history have unfolded. Liepaja stretches between sea and lake, where Baltic winds carry music through streets that earned the city its nickname, City Where the Wind is Born. Karosta prison's haunting cells and corridors tell stories of naval discipline and Soviet occupation, offering brave visitors the chance to experience life as a prisoner for a night. The massive Orthodox Naval Cathedral rises unexpectedly from military quarters, its golden domes a testament to Russian imperial ambitions on the Baltic coast. The Blue Flag beach stretches endlessly with powder-white sand, while wooden walkways protect rare coastal plants and led to favorite local swimming spots. Art Nouveau architecture lines quiet streets, where ornate facades tell tales of merchant wealth and pre-war prosperity in this once-secret military city. The naval port's abandoned fortifications create an apocalyptic landscape where concrete bunkers and underground tunnels reveal Cold War secrets. Rock Cafe transforms former military buildings into creative spaces, cementing Liepaja's reputation as Latvia's rock music capital and cultural hub. Traditional wooden houses in the seaside park showcase intricate carpentry, while nearby contemporary beach clubs offer modern Baltic lifestyle. The promenade comes alive at sunset when amber light plays across the waves, and local musicians perform against the backdrop of Baltic horizons. Cape Kolka. Cape Kolka marks the dramatic meeting point of two seas, where waves from the Baltic Sea and Gulf of Riga collide in a spectacular display of natural forces. Ancient pine forests reach to the very edge of windswept beaches, where fishing boats rest on golden sand and locals smoke their daily catch in traditional ways. The restored lighthouse stands sentinel on an artificial island, watching over one of Europe's busiest bird migration routes, where thousands of birds rest during their journey. Dawn breaks over the cape with extraordinary beauty, as fishermen set out in wooden boats while migrating birds fill the sky in massive formations. The unique ecosystem supports rare coastal plants and wildlife, while fallen pine trees sculpted by endless winds create natural art along the shore. Live heritage lives on in small fishing villages, where traditional wooden houses and fish-smoking sheds preserve the culture of this ancient Baltic people. Walking trails wind through coastal pine forests, filled with wild berries and mushrooms, leading to hidden observation points perfect for watching spectacular sunsets. Winter storms transform the Cape into a wild spectacle, where massive waves crash together, sometimes freezing into fantastic ice sculptures along the shore. Cesis. Castle's ancient stones rise from a hilltop park where two castles, the medieval Livonian fortress and the later manor house, tell 8 centuries of Baltic history. Lantern-lit castle tours invite visitors to explore medieval towers by candlelight, climbing worn stone steps with traditional lanterns as knights once did. The cobblestone streets of Old Town wind past pastel-colored merchant houses and hidden gardens, where traditional Latvian flags still hang from wooden window frames. St. John's Church's Gothic spire dominates the skyline, its 13th century walls housing Latvia's oldest pipe organ. The castle park's winding paths reveal romantic ruins and ancient oaks, while the restored manor house showcases elegant 18th century interiors and Baltic German culture. Local craft breweries operate from historic cellars, continuing a brewing tradition that dates back to medieval times when Cesis was famous for its beer. Hiking trails snake through the pristine Gauja Valley, connecting medieval ruins with natural wonders like the red sandstone cliffs and hidden springs. The town square comes alive during summer festivals, when traditional music fills the air and local artisans demonstrate ancient crafts beneath medieval walls. May Park's Art Nouveau pavilion hosts cultural events while providing views across the ancient town. Kuldiga. Kuldiga enchants visitors with its red-tiled roofs and wooden bridges, where Europe's widest waterfall creates a constant melody beneath one of Latvia's longest brick bridges. Ventas Rumba waterfall stretches 249 meters wide, yet only 2 meters high, creating a unique spectacle where local fishermen once caught salmon in mid-air using special baskets. The old town's narrow streets reveal perfectly preserved 17th and 18th century wooden architecture, earning Kuldiga recognition as the Venice of Latvia for its historic charm. Ancient wooden buildings lean companionably together along cobblestone streets, their weathered facades and red tile roofs creating a living museum of Hanseatic architecture. The old brick bridge spans the Venta River with 7 arches, offering perfect views of flying fish during spawning season and serving as a favorite local swimming spot in summer. Medieval craftsmen's workshops still line the streets, where modern artisans continue centuries-old traditions in buildings that once housed their predecessors. The town square preserves its historical character with restored merchant houses and the elegant town hall, while cafes serve traditional Kemeri region specialties. Hidden courtyards reveal gardens where fruit trees bloom in spring, and ancient stone wells still stand as testament to the town's medieval water system. Summer evenings bring locals to the riverside beaches beside the waterfall, where the setting sun creates rainbows in the mist rising from Ventas Rumba. Rundale Palace. Rundale Palace rises from the Zemgale Plains like a Baltic Versailles, its golden facade gleaming against vast, formal gardens designed by the same architect who created St. Petersburg's Winter Palace. The palatial gardens span 10 hectares of precisely manicured French-style parterres, with the largest rose garden in the Baltics, showcasing over 2,400 varieties blooming throughout summer. The Gold Hall dazzles visitors with its Rococo excess, where gilded stucco decorations and painted ceilings create a masterpiece of 18th century artistic sophistication. The Duke's private apartments preserve authentic Baroque furnishings, their silk wallpapers and painted ceilings telling stories of courtly life in the Duchy of Courland. The White Hall transforms into a marble symphony, where classical statues and ornate mirrors create an atmosphere of ethereal elegance perfect for classical concerts. The palace's restored staterooms showcase period furniture, Meissen porcelain, and Venetian mirrors, each room more opulent than the last. Riga. Riga's historic heart beats through streets where every building tells a story. Its UNESCO-protected Old Town, presenting one of Northern Europe's finest collections of Art Nouveau architecture. Along Albert Street, mythological creatures and flowering vines dance across magnificent facades, while peacocks and dragons peer down from ornate doorways, a testament to Riga's golden age of architectural creativity. The House of the Blackhead stands as a masterpiece of medieval architecture, its Dutch Renaissance facade reflecting in rain-slicked cobblestones, while its spires pierce the Baltic sky like Gothic dreams made real. St. Peter's Church's soaring spire, rising 123 meters above the city, offers panoramic views of Riga's red-tiled roofscape, where ancient weather vanes dance with modern skylines. The central market, housed in converted Zeppelin hangars, pulses with local life as vendors sell smoked fish, fresh berries, and traditional black bread beneath massive vaulted ceilings. Dome Square echoes with centuries of history, its cathedral's massive organ pipes filling the medieval streets with music, while cafes spill onto sun-warmed cobblestones. The Three Brothers, Riga's oldest dwelling houses, stand shoulder to shoulder, their architectural styles spanning centuries, from medieval to Baroque, in a living timeline of the city's evolution. Art Nouveau elegance reaches its peak in the Museum of Decorative Arts and Design, where Riga's creative heritage comes alive through preserved interiors and authentic period furnishings. The Freedom Monument stands tall along the canal-side parks, its copper maiden holding 3 stars above the city, a powerful symbol of Latvia's independence and resilience. As evening approaches, the old town's narrow streets fill with amber light, while traditional Latvian restaurants serve seasonal delicacies in centuries-old cellars beneath Gothic arches. As the Baltic sun sets on our journey through Latvia, we've only scratched the surface of this remarkable land. From the cobblestone streets of medieval towns to the misty morning bogs, from crashing waves at Cape Kolka to the serene gardens of Rundale Palace, Latvia continues to enchant and surprise. Whether you seek adventure in ancient castles, tranquility in pristine nature, or the warmth of Baltic hospitality, Latvia offers experiences that will stay with you long after you've returned home. Remember to subscribe and join us on our next adventure. Until then, as Latvians say, uz redzēšanos, until we meet again.